The power and position of president. This I was saying this is very important, this article. Why? There's nowhere it mentioned that there's prime minister, but this says about it. There shall be a council of minister with the prime minister at the head to aid and advise the president. To aid and advise the president. 74(1). So it says there shall be a council of minister with the prime minister at the head to aid and advise president, who shall in exercise of his function act in accordance with such advice. That means president cannot act at his own discretion. Whatever advice the council of minister headed by the prime minister gives, he has to take that decision. He has to act on that advice. It says that, the first point. Okay, but read the second point. Provided that the president may require the council of minister to reconsider such advice. Means if the president thinks, if a bill has been passed by the parliament, okay, it will go to the president for assent. Assent means approval. If president thinks that there is some problem with the bill, he can send the bill back to the house for reconsideration. Okay, please look into the bill again. I think this and this should be omitted, or should be not be there actually. So he can send that bill once back to the house, once only, but just once. Reconsider such advice, and the president shall act in accordance with the advice tendered after such reconsideration. This means if the bill has been passed again by the house without any changes, whatever advice he has given, okay, please bring this changes, do this changes and give it back to me. If the house thinks that we don't need to make any changes, and they give back the same bill to the president has to give the assent now. He will give the approval. So only once for reconsideration. Okay? Means he can send back. That is, send back bill only once. President can send back any bill, like not the money bill, but the ordinary bill he can send back once for reconsideration. Are you understanding this, what I'm trying to say? You're understanding? You understood? Like there is a process bill. You understand what is bill? Parliament, what they do, they pass a bill. They have majorities. Like if they want to bring a reservation for women, they have a bill, women reservation bill. They will discuss, they will vote on that. Okay, if the reservation bill says that we want to give reservation for 30%, and it has been passed by both the house, Lok Sabha also, Rajya Sabha also. After that, what happens? It will go to the president. Once both the house, when Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha passes the bill, it goes to president. Now president will give the assent. Assent means the approval. If he gives the approval, the bill becomes act. That is the difference. Bill will become act only after the approval of president. But if the president thinks that bill, it has 30% only for reservation, he wants, let it make it 33%. Because president thinks that way. So he'll say, okay, please consider this bill again and make it 33%. So he will send back again the bill for reconsideration. This is called reconsideration. You reconsider my opinion. But Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha again passes the bill with 30% of reservation only. The same bill they pass without any changes. Or they can make changes also. They can make it 50% also. Then they have to consider, then once it comes back to the president again, first time it came, he gave it back. Second time it came, he has to give the assent. Now the bill will become act. Second time he cannot send it back. It's only one time president can send back the bill. He cannot even cancel it. No. He has a power called veto power. Pocket veto. He can do that because there is no time framework for that. We'll discuss about vetoes when the veto class comes. Okay. Veto means no, saying no. Right? Who appoints the president means? The Chief Justice of India. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. You understood this, right? 74th one? Clearly understood? Because this is very important. Here they mention about the Council of Minister with Prime Minister. The name is here. They have mentioned that who is in power? Prime Minister, but he is headed by Council of Minister, but who is headed by Prime Minister. And whose advice? He'll give the advice to the President, and President will act on that advice. But if the President thinks that he needs the bill to be reconsidered, he can send it back. But if again the bill is passed with no changes, President has to give the assent. Assent. So that is like approval. It means approval. Okay. Next, yeah, read.
Do you know what the word shall means here?
Shall. We read shall here, right? This is what I'm trying to explain. The reconsideration part, shall. Yeah.
It indicates that the advice is binding on the President. In view of the controversy about the scope of the President's powers, a specific mention was made in the Constitution by an amendment that the advice of the Council of Ministers will be binding on the President. By another amendment made later, it was decided that the President can ask the Council of Ministers to reconsider its advice, but has to accept the reconsidered advice of the Council of Ministers.
So it's trying to say that earlier when the Constitution was written, there whatever bill has been passed to the President, he has to give the assent. But again there was an amendment made where they gave the power to the President to send the bill back for once at least for reconsideration. This is what they're talking about. But if the bill comes back to the President with no changes, he has to give the assent. This you are understanding, right? This is very important. What did you not understand? Which part? What did you understand? Yeah, tell me. Tell me. See, you understand what a bill is? You understand what bill is? Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, what function they do? They pass the bill. So it goes to the President. The final approval, who gives it? It is the President. He has to give the approval. Once he gives the approval, bill becomes act. Bill will only become act. And we read about acts, right? Maternity Benefit Act, this act, that act. It only becomes act when President approves. Otherwise, it will still remain a bill if he doesn't approve. So till here you understood? It will become act if President approves. So what he does, he'll send back the bill again if he thinks that there is some problem with the bill. To the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha again. You pass this bill again with bringing this changes what I am giving you. I want this, like I gave you the example. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha passed a bill saying that we need to give 30% of reservation. But President thinks that we need to give 33%. 3% extra, add it. He'll send it again. Now the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha is like, no, we want to give only 30%. We will not make any changes. The same bill comes back to the President again. Now he has to give the approval. Now he cannot give back.
What if he say no?
He cannot say no now. This is what it's saying, no?
He has to accept the
The President shall act in accordance with the advice. Shall. Shall means he should. He has to. Shall word, it means that. Only first time he can give back. Second time he cannot. He has to accept it. This is what it's trying to say. And there's no such thing like the President cannot, like President can hold the bill. There's a power called pocket veto, okay? Pocket veto. When we read the veto powers of President, we'll read about pocket veto. What does that mean is keeping the bill in his pocket. It literally means that. Governors, I don't know if he has this power or not.
state governments.
What?
There are many, this assent has to be given for
Okay. So they also use this pocket veto, you're saying. Yeah, so this is common. Pocket veto means there's no time framework meant for the president to sign the bill. So it can be signed in 1 day, it can be signed in 1 year, it can be signed in 10 years also. So when she uses this pocket veto, it is like it's just lying dormant. You cannot ask the president, it's like, I've used pocket veto, let me think about it. He has not given back for reconsideration also. It is with him now. Yeah, he can. Yeah, APJ Abdul Kalam had done that. So many presidents have done this. They have used this pocket veto. If they don't like it, just keep it under the pocket. This is why it is called pocket veto. And forget it. Again, if they want to make any changes, then they'll bring the bill back again if they want to. Again, he can use this pocket veto. But it doesn't happen this way because the present majority government will always have a person of his choice, right? President also gets elected through indirect way. We read the elected MPs and MLAs. And who will have the elected MPs and MLAs? The present government only, right? They'll have the majority. So it means the president will also be from the same party most of the time. You understood this? Okay. Next.
We have already seen that president is the formal head of the government. In this formal sense, the president has wide-ranging executive, legislative, judicial, and emergency powers. In a parliamentary system, these powers are clearly used by president only on the advice of the Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers have support of the majority in the Lok Sabha, and they are the real executive. In most of the cases, the president has to follow the advice of the Council of Ministers.
In most of the cases, but it's saying in most, not all the cases. The word is most of the cases, okay? Huh? Those are just normal stories, I think. Not give him any real power, but we have made his position one authority and dignity. He's talking about president. Why we have a president like that? What was the need to have a president then? Like if we have not given him power, but he has some discretionary power like pocket veto, which is very important. And why he is important? Because we'll learn in the chapter of president. We cannot have a political vacuum. Parties can fall down before the term of 5 years through like there can be a hung assembly or no confidence motion. So parties can actually come down before 5 years, right? There are some cases where the parties have come like during the emergency time, Congress lost all of a sudden. So that time there's a political vacuum. To fulfill that, we always need a president. We cannot have a political vacuum in our country. If president is not there, then there will be a political vacuum. Who will be the one who's heading the government? No one. Then the power might go to the judiciary or to the military. Two wings are left then. Judiciary might take the power, or mostly the junta government, the military power dictatorship might come off. This is why we have a president, so that there is no political vacuum. Okay?
Discretionary powers of the president.
This is important. I was talking about the pocket veto. We'll read here.
On the basis of the above discussion, can we infer that the president has no discretionary power under any circumstances? This will be an incorrect assessment. Constitutionally, the president has the right to be informed of all important matters and deliberations of the Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister is obliged to furnish all the information that the president may call for. The president often writes to the Prime Minister and expresses his views on matters confronting the country.
This is Article 78. We'll read about all the articles individually, don't worry. Yeah.
Besides this, there are at least 3 situations where the president can exercise the powers using his or her own discretion. In the first place, we have already noted that the president can send back the advice given by the Council of Ministers and ask Council to reconsider the decision. In doing this, the president acts on his or her own discretion.
See, the first place. So what we are reading right now is about the discretionary power. What are the discretionary power? Of president. Okay. First, we have already learnt in Article 74(1) that he can reconsider. He can give the bill back. The council to reconsider the decision. In doing so, it's his own discretion. It is totally his own discretion. If he feels like, he can send it. Next.
When the president thinks that the advice has certain flaws or legal lacunae, or that it is not in the best interest of the country, the president can ask the council to reconsider the decision.
Yeah, this is 74A. Yeah.
Although the council can still send back the same advice, and the president would then be bound by that advice. Such a request by the president to reconsider the decision would naturally carry a lot of weight. So this is one way in which the president can act on his own discretion.
So this whole paragraph is what I was trying to tell you from that time. If it is given back, still if the bill with no changes comes back to him, he has to give the assent. Okay. Second.
The president has veto power by which he can withhold or refuse to give assent to bills other than money bill passed by the parliament.
So this was second. So first was Article 74(1). Okay, the reconsideration. Second is veto power. It says president also has veto powers in he can withhold. He cannot give the or refuse, totally refuse, two things. He can withhold it or refuse it. To give assent to bill other than money bill. Money bill he can never do that. Money bill he has to give the permission always. Otherwise there will be a defeat of the government itself. Government will fall down. So money bill has to pass, because we'll read about money bill when we go to the advanced books. So this is second, veto power.
Every bill passed by the parliament goes to the president for his assent before it becomes a law.
See, this is what I was trying to tell you. If it has to become an act from a like bill, or it has to become a law, it requires his assent. President for his assent before it becomes a law. Okay.
The president can send the bill back to the parliament asking it to reconsider the bill. This veto power is limited because if the parliament passes the same bill again and sends it back to the president, then the president has to give assent to that bill. However, there is no mention in the constitution about the time limit within which the president must send the bill back for reconsideration.
See, it says, however, there is no mention in the constitution itself about the time limit within which the president must send the bill back for reconsideration. So this is kind of pocket veto. He is keeping the thing in his pocket, because constitution has not prescribed any time limit. Like you have to send back in 10 days, you have to send back in 20 days. There's no limit for president. So what he does?
What if they amend, sir?
They?
What if parliament amends this? He should only do it.
Constitution, if they amend this, it can be done, but it has not been done.
Again, he has to give assent.
Yeah, it can be done like that. Yeah. Again, he can veto the same thing. Yeah, to change the veto. Yeah, can be done. Okay. This means
That the president can just keep the bill pending with him without any time.
without any time limit. Okay.
This gives the president an informal power to use the veto in a very effective manner. This is sometimes referred to as pocket veto.
Now you understood what is pocket veto? There is no time limit prescribed by the constitution itself. So unless and until they think like you, we can see some changes here. Yeah.
Then
Next.
the third kind of discretion arises more out of political circumstances.
Yeah.
Formally, the president appoints a prime minister. Normally, in the parliament system, a leader who has the support of the majority in the Lok Sabha would be appointed as prime minister, and the question of discretion would not rise. But imagine a situation when after an election, no leader has a clear majority in the Lok Sabha. Imagine further that after attempts to forge alliance, 2 or 3 leaders are claiming that they have the support of the majority in the House. Now the president has to decide whom to appoint as the prime minister.
So do you understand this situation? If any party has not been able to prove its majority, then only they can become prime minister or council of ministers. Right? There's no majority at all, and 2-3 parties coming together also still they don't have majority. What will happen? There's no majority government which can form. So that time president has the power. Now the president.
As the president has to decide whom to appoint as a prime
Hmm.
minister. In such a situation, the president has to use his own discretion in judging who really may have the support of the majority or who can actually form and run the government. Since 1989, major political changes have considerably increased the importance of the presidential office. The four parliament elections held from 1999 to 1998, no single party or coalition attained a majority in the Lok Sabha. These situations demanded presidential intervention either in order to constitute governments or to grant a request for dissolution of Lok Sabha by a prime minister who could not prove majority in the House. It may thus be said that presidential discretion is related to political conditions. There is greater scope for presidential assertiveness when governments are not stable and coalitions occupy power. For the most part, the president is a former power holder and a ceremonial head of the nation. You may wonder why then do we need a president? In a parliamentary system, the Council of Ministers is dependent on support of the majority in the legislature. This also means that the Council of Ministers may be removed at any time, and a new Council of Ministers will have to be put in place. Such a situation requires a head of the state who has a fixed term, who may be empowered to appoint the Prime Minister and who may symbolically represent the entire country. This is exactly the role of the President in ordinary circumstances. Besides, when no party has a clear majority, the President has the additional responsibility of making a choice and appointing the Prime Minister to run the government of the country.
So we'll stop till here. But before this, we'll. So what were the three discretionary powers of president? First, Article 70. Second, veto, pocket veto. Third, appointing a president when there is no clear majority. Appointing prime minister, sorry. Appointing PM when there is no clear majority. So these are the three powers. So that means he's not just a rubber stamp. He has some power with him. Okay? Till here you understood? Today I think you have a lot to do. You have DPSPs, fundamental rights, executives, election commissions. So revise this. I think tomorrow we don't have class. Day after tomorrow mostly. So I will ask you, as usual, like how I was today. Okay? Revise this because this is your base. Don't you don't have to read this book again. Once you make this notes, we'll be jumping on to the next book. So that is the most important, the Bible of Constitution or the polity. What is most like the required for this exam to like if we have to crack this exam, we have to read that book. It has dealt with all the articles in minute detail, with great detail. So we have to remember everything there. This becomes a base for us. Okay? Any doubt? You have understood everything? Huh? Okay, I will ask you again. Next time, please score better.